You're watching UBC News Tonight. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Very good evening and thank you so much for tuning in. The 16 days transformational retreat for local leaders, which has been happening at National Leadership Institute Chankwanzi and Oliver Tambo School of Leadership, has closed with President Museveni gracing the event. Addressing leaders, Museveni discouraged politics of identity and self-centeredness, but rather flagged them off to go and be ambassadors of peace, security and transformation in their respective communities. Take a look.
The mood at the National Leadership Institute Chankwanzi, as over 100,000 local government leaders concluded the 14-day retreat.
Mindset, I'm going to change the person now.
What have I learned from here? One, leadership.
We have known how now we can defend ourselves.
The Prime Minister Robin Anabanja appreciated the initiative.
Because I'm the chief monitor of government programs, I coordinate ministries, departments and agencies, and so I thought in order for us to reach down to the people, we needed all of us to be aligned.
The President of Uganda, Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, was the chief guest.
And then give you the sound of the events.
First at the pass out before converging for the sermon was a word of prayer and the two joint memorandums from leaders.
Your Excellency, these humble servants of yours, leaders from different capacities, have been here for so many days and have been eagerly waiting for this one moment.
Ideological training was timely and focused on enhancing leaders' capacities on monitoring government programs. The government leaders have also raised the concern that they humbly request for enhancement of remuneration of all local government leaders at all levels.
These were followed by addresses of the Commandant of Nali and Kaweweta.
Your Excellency, these participants are so interesting. On this course, they applied themselves very well. They demonstrated a high sense of commitment.
Effective leadership is not about making speeches. It's not about being liked. Leadership is defined by results, not attributes. Go forth and transform your local governments through the best examples as leaders. Remember always to walk the talk.
Minister Victoria Rusoke and Prime Minister Robin Anabanja addressed the retreat.
People must be patriotic to love this country because we are, because Uganda is.
Your Excellency, the skills gained during the 14 days training, these participants are now change agents in driving the socio-economic agenda for Uganda through effective monitoring of government programs starting at grassroots. Dear participants, now that you are change agents, as we agreed, when you go back, ensure that you effectively manage your time.
Nabanja then after invited the President to address the gathering.
In all these programs which they taught you, the one summary that will help you is to recognize how the NRM differed from the other political groups.
Museveni elaborated on what informed their struggle for power in his address.
You would hear them saying, "Echafe, you as who?" So the purpose of politics to them was identity. We said that the main purpose of politics is to create prosperity. So that's why we said, the purpose of politics cannot be identity. It must be to get prosperity.
President Museveni's lecture to the leaders focused on patriotism and wealth creation. He noted that his vision has steered Uganda to higher heights with the availability of security and peace.
Discipline the army.
Ekisooka amagye gabe n'empisa.
Because it was the army mainly disturbing the peace of other people.
The President was dissatisfied with the one-sided justice society, where the illiterates suffer more, singling out land wrangles.
You may have no war, but you may not have justice for all, like land matters. And the Kubetaka, stealing the land. And the people, the victims are people who are not educated. The ones who cheat are a bit educated. Now, then you say, you, the leaders in your area, you say, Mbalekeba megane mukoti. That's why you find a lot of anger among the people, because they are really cheated, disturbed.
Regarding the mismanagement of government resources at the lower levels, Museveni reminded leaders to heed to their roles. Robert Onyango, UBC News.
In more stories, health authorities in Kenya and Uganda have intensified mpox surveillance at the shared borders as infectious rise in the region. There are significant delays at key crossing points, particularly in Busia, Kenya, where truck drivers now face extended waiting times to clear health checks.
Long queues of trucks, up to 30 kilometers long. This time round, however, there are no logistical issues. The truck drivers are waiting to be cleared by the medical teams at the Malaba one-stop border point. New measures put in place by health officials to curb the spread of the mpox virus mean crossing the Kenya-Uganda border now takes much longer. And drivers who had only planned for normal crossing say they've been hit hard. Joel Kingori, a seasoned long-distance truck driver, says everything has changed since the first few cases of mpox were reported in Kenya.
We are not even interacting with drivers from the affected countries because of the stigma. We are just talking from a distance and taking precautions. We used to sit and eat together previously, but now we are told by health officials to wash our hands and keep distance from the other drivers who are coming from the affected areas, which is unfortunate because some are our friends.
The Kenyan and Ugandan health ministries have beefed up surveillance at the Busia border point. Not only the truck drivers are subjected to the mandatory checks here at the border, but everyone coming in from Uganda is supposed to be checked properly. So the port health official will ask anyone how they're feeling, if they've experienced any signs and symptoms of mpox. And before that, temperatures are taken, and of course a questionnaire is given for you to answer some questions before you're now allowed to cross to the other side of Kenya. Despite the measures, some local residents say they're witnessing many people from the affected countries moving freely between Kenya and Uganda at the border towns of Malaba and Busia.
Unapata ni kwamba these long distance drivers.
The risk here mostly is that these long-distance drivers interact with a lot of locals within the county, and these locals end up going to their villages, risking the lives of many vulnerable people.
Local members.
Medical teams say they are doing their best to ensure cases of mpox do not spread. They are, however, worried that the continued movement of people to and from Uganda using illegal crossing points could undo all the hard work they've put in to curb the spread of the mpox outbreak.
Unfortunately, you discover that because of the border, some of the contacts are actually across the border on the other side in Uganda and not just in Busia. And in fact, among the 4 scares that we've had, including the one that turned out positive, 2 of them were actually manual workers who had crossed in from Uganda, and they are doing some manual work in Kenya here in one of the villages across. And so when we reached out to them, our surveillance teams reached out to them, samples were taken. Unfortunately, before they could even be put somewhere, some of them had already disappeared and crossed back to Uganda.
Kenya confirmed the 5th case of mpox this week. According to the Health Ministry, 124 samples have so far been submitted to laboratories for testing, with 110 testing negative, while 9 are still being analyzed. Nick Mudimba, CGTN, Malaba, Kenya.
Dr. Philemon Mateke, father to the late State Minister for Defense and Veteran Affairs, Sarah Mateke Nyirabashitsi, has described his daughter as an unifying figure in the politics of Kisoro District. Dr. Mateke, who also serves as the chairperson of the NRM party in Kisoro District, shared that he played a significant role in mentoring Sarah for a career in politics.
I think it's we didn't take anybody. That was not Sarah. She couldn't antagonize any person at all. Very hardworking. She used to move all over the district in just one day. Even here. That's why people voted her. She had the potentials. And she has shown those potentials. This is just a few years. Yeah, she has been with them. Very hardworking. If you know.
My name is Abel Bizmana. I'm the district chairperson of Kisoro, and I'm really heartened, dumbfounded to be part of the community of Kisoro that has lost this important person called Honorable Sarah Kyomugisha. We have lost an industrious person, a person who has been innovative, who created a university and many campuses made to stay here, where all people that belong to Metropolitan University come and graduate here, sleep here, eat our food, and then add value to people of Kisoro's income. Of course, we have got, for the first time, a person who is a politician showing that there is more to politics than politicking, using their own money to build a nursing school, put up a metropolitan radio FM. This one is a challenge, but please make sure your income as a politician is not lost in politicking. So to us, we have lost a very passionate person. Today, if you see how Kisoro looks like, the dark cloud leader was covering the skies of Kisoro today.
I'm called Honorable Agawa James, and I'm the LC5 councillor. I represent Southern Division to the district from the municipality. Sarah did a lot of things here, not even becoming a minister. She was a town clerk of Kisoro district, where we even got this municipality. It was a catastrophe of Sarah Nyirabashitsi and other people who worked hard that Kisoro be elevated from a town council into a municipality. But when the president also found that Nyirabashitsi can also perform and gave her more duties rather than being only an MP, she was added another work of becoming a minister, which she performed well. That really showed all of Fumbira and the whole country that Sarah Nyirabashitsi can perform. So I request His Excellency the President that if he is going to again choose someone to replace Sarah in that position, to reconsider Kisoro people, because we have people who can also manage to be ministers, so that we don't lose that connection, or don't lose our person who was sitting on that cabinet seat. Someone else can also can occupy what Sarah was doing.
Being a minister from Kisoro, she has been the only female minister, woman minister, in the whole of Western region of Uganda. So we request the President to please consider for us another woman in Kisoro, in the way of also practicing the woman emancipation, like empowering women. Look for one of the women, but we need also to consider like the same characters that Sarah Matecha has been having.
Mama Faith Luwarida Foundation has held a one-day conference for children and adolescents on the theme, train up a child in the way he should grow, and when he's old, he will not depart from it. That's actually a scripture. Addressing the participants, different speakers focused on the impact of social media in society, especially on children and the adolescents.
Social media has transformed the society on how to communicate, share information and consume. But educationists hold a different view basing on adolescents, children and their parents.
We are trying to devise all possible means to make sure that the young people are not drained by what they see on social media, what they hear. Because believe me or not, this is an era of information explosion and demand. But the people who are going to be survivors are those who have the power of selection of what makes good sense, so that they are not negatively influenced, but they can sail through while sieving what adds value onto them and what can enable them to develop, what can enable them to remain in God's image. Because such an influence, we use our eyes, we use our ears, and we use our mouth. We see so many things that come in, but we must have the power of selection, what makes good sense, to make us remain people of value. We must know what counts in life to avoid negative influences.
In a way of preparing them for the future. But going forward towards the usage of the phones, we need to guide our learners on better practices, and one of them can start with parents' guidance by installing software that would monitor the children's activity on the phone and online until such a time when the child has learned responsibly or how to use the phone responsibly, that they can be led to use the phone on their own. We can also advise that they restrict some sites not to be accessed by students by giving some kind of dedicated data which cannot allow these learners to access.
This was during Mama Faith Luwarira Foundation Conference at Mengo Secondary School in Kampala. Foundation of Mama Faith Luwarira Foundation, Faith Nachitende Luwarira, says many children need counseling because social media is destroying the future of children.
I have a foundation, Mama Faith Luwarira Foundation. It has so many issues it is handling, but one of them is to converge our children and also parents as to raise a generation that will be able to stand the waves of this day. They will be able to say no to all the vices. They will be able to stand. So, as parents, we feel that is our obligation. As we raise children, we must train them the way they should go. So that's why we have our children every holiday, and the dilemma and what its relationship to mental health, so that we can see how we can help them succeed.
I'm Ivan Juko and Beatrice Naziri for UBC.
World Health Organization has recommended every country to get 1% of blood unit from total population that exists to saving lives of many people who could die because of its shortage. A senior blood collection team leader at Uganda Blood Transmission Services, Samuel Davis Wante, says that Uganda needs 460,000 blood units every year in order to save lives of many people.
Uganda Blood Transmission Services have held a blood donation drive at Kamocha Community Temple to collect blood and save.
Uganda as a country, we've just had a census whereby we are approximately 46 million people. WHO demands that for blood to satisfy the demand of the health facilities of that country, we must be able to realize the 1% of that units of blood of that population.
Kamocha Sindi Community Temple was celebrating 32 years of serving mankind in Uganda.
In Uganda, and we have been here for 32 years.
Uganda collects 80% of the World Health Organization required target, although the 20% top-up would save more lives.
We are supposed to collect 460,000 health units of blood to be able to satisfy the demand of blood in this country. As Uganda Blood Transfusion Services, we are only able to realize 80%. So we would like even this 20% to be realized so that we satisfy the demand.
Mahesh Wadwan, the religious coordinator Kamocha Sindi Community Temple, said that in the last 32 years, they have provided free medication to over 50,000 Ugandans.
We have got lots of response from people who have come and donated blood. They have come for a free checkup and all that. And that's service to humanity. Because we believe service to humanity is service to God.
Benon Mukwaya, Richard Chirembeka, UBC.
A Ministry of Health senior official, Dr. Charles Olaro, has appealed to the public to donate blood to address blood shortage. He was speaking at the launch of the campaign Fueling Hope by Viva Energy Uganda, held at Shell Ntinda.
Blood loss due to accidents and other health complications contribute to high blood needs at health facilities. Uganda Blood Transfusion, in partnership with Viva Energy Uganda, has launched a campaign to collect more blood at all Shell fuel stations across the country. Speaking at the launch of a blood donation at Shell Ntinda, a Minister of Health representative, Dr. Charles Olaro, urged Ugandans to donate blood to save lives.
If it is translated into units, like 102 point something units. So when Viva comes up and says, I want to raise awareness among the populace so that UBTs we can cross the gap. We say, there we are. Thank you, people. And we are very willing to work with you. Actually, this aspect, it has been awaited.
The Managing Director, Viva Energy Uganda, Joanita Mukasamenya, explained that the campaign will be on until next year.
Committed to health services. Our three big commitments is to health, that's people, education, again people, and the environment. So those three things for me, this partnership addresses one important one, which is the health service piece. And that's why I'm calling each one of you to come partner with us. As you know, our vision is to fuel Africa's future. And there's no future without life. And that's how we decided to choose blood donation as a way to fuel hope.
Meanwhile, the Executive Director, Uganda Blood Transfusion Services, Dr. Dorothy Cheyune-Byabazaire, explained that patients, including road accident victims, depend on blood availability for survival.
Victims, for the sickle cell patients, for trauma and surgical and medical patients. There's no way we could have said more thank you than saying thank you so much. You have come in time to help us to mobilize blood donors, to mobilize donors to come and donate blood. Because this is quite a difficult period for us, you know. Most of our blood donors are students in schools. When the schools are on holiday, we get a crisis. We get a crisis, but we know now this crisis is going to be solved.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC.
Thank you so much, ladies.
Rotarians from the Rotary Club of Bukoto have embarked on a campaign to train youth on the effects of drugs. Led by their president Alice Bonjaide, they have engaged youth from Bukoto together with the Development Initiative Uganda to empower lives of youth living in slum areas.
An interaction with the youth regarding igniting hope to have in a boy child. They have lost hope. Some of them have not had education and they still have that belief that in order to make it in life, you must be educated, you must have a degree, you must have a diploma, which is not the case. And some of them talk of capital. They lack access to this capital, and we as Rotary, when we gather them, we list the skills that they do have, we cluster them and come in and facilitate them where we can.
This was empowerment of the boy child. Why boy child? Because we've seen it that has been the girl who has been having it almost all the time, leaving out the boy child. And we came to empower the youths, especially the ghetto youths, in that they are facing a lot of challenges within their communities and issue organization that they lack access to health services, and we gave them, we are even ready to link them to organizations that can support them.
In more stories tonight, the Commissioner of Wetland Management, David Okurut, water and environment officials, joined by other stakeholders from UNDP with other officials from the Ministry of Agriculture, are following up on the activities under the Green Climate Change Project funded by the UNDP on restoration of wetlands in the 24 districts, 12 in the east and 12 in the southwest, with the aim of monitoring and reviewing the restoration progress. Kenneth Tanawa reports.
Palisa, we were in Limoto, one of the alternative livelihoods. The people were cultivating rice in the wetlands. They were given a component, they are doing fish farming, and others are doing a horticultural crop farming. So with the project, to establish a structure where we put fish ponds, and when you look at Limoto, we have close to 7 ponds, fish ponds for the communities. And also we have land which is being irrigated through.
The concept of the project was that people are convinced, persuaded to leave wetlands, and they are provided with alternative livelihoods so that they do not go back into these wetland systems. But at the moment, from Palisa and Chibuku, we see a few of the farmers in the areas that were restored getting back into the systems. What does this mean? It means that the leadership of the districts, the ministries that are implementing this project, and other development partners we are working with, we still need to move ahead and resensitize these communities to understand the concept of this project.
Since it is a problem, some other people politically don't walk the talk, because they know very well when they talk about the wetlands, they are not going to be voted back. So you're a member of parliament. We are in there, the president excused everything, so don't go away from the wetland. And you at the district level and local level, you are saying, no, this is a good program.
We'll take a short commercial break and we'll be back with business news.
You used to tell me that I don't make you happy. All that time you would be complaining. I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby dondolo.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000, or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily, or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
It's true what people say, that when I wash and you wash your hands with soap, we'll have less infections as Ugandans. After all, it's hands that handle money. It's hands that feed us. Hands that prepare soil for farming. Hands that we use to learn. And hands that we use for fun.
When I wash and you wash, it means clean hands for all. So, wash your hands with soap and clean water regularly to keep away infections and disease-causing germs. This message is from the National Hand Washing Secretariat with support from UNICEF.
The Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs and the UPDF, in conjunction with the Ministry of Internal Affairs and other sister security agencies, present the first Kampala Defense and Security Expo in memory of the late Honorable General Arunda Nyakairima, as we celebrate his selflessness, bravery and Pan-Africanism. Activities will include an exhibition, memorial lectures by distinguished speakers, and Thanksgiving prayers to crown the 3-day event. The keynote speaker will be the President of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni. The event will take place from 10th to 12th September 2024 at the Commonwealth Resort Hotel at Munyonyo. For more details on the accreditation process for this event, please call the UPDF's Head of Protocol on 0772 696070 or 0757 999544.
Ladies and gentlemen, and ladies in the struggle, our country Uganda must be free.
Indomie Instant Noodles is available in 3 flavors of chicken, beef, and vegetable. Buy your Indomie Instant Noodles in supermarkets and dukas near you anywhere across Uganda.
Indomie Instant Noodles, Uganda's best loved noodles.
Welcome back from that short commercial break. Bethany Hospital has emerged as the winner of the prestigious Consumer Choice Award, a recognition that underscores its commitment to excellence in healthcare services. Senior Presidential Advisor on Industry, Amelia Chambade, celebrated the hospital's achievement and highlighted the importance of quality healthcare in Uganda.
Senior Presidential Advisor on Industry, Amelia Chambade, has emphasized that Bethany Hospital's win is a testament to the hospital's dedication to providing top-tier medical services.
What we don't realize is that actually we are all public-private partnership entities. We might not realize that. Someone might say, I'm not working with UDC, I'm not working. No, but you are. You are complying with our policies. You are working with the MDAs like this. Those are public. You are actually public-private partnership entities. And I'd like to say that these relationships, or the PPPs that we have helped to establish now almost 8,000 industries in the country.
It reflects the broader potential for investment in Uganda, where the security of person and property is guaranteed and investors are encouraged to contribute to the nation's growth.
The domestic investors, traders, come and we handhold you in Uganda Investment Authority. It's not a very simple journey, but start somewhere, even with a low investment threshold. Have the culture of being a manufacturer. All these big manufacturers you see in Uganda started somewhere. They started 500 million shillings, started 100 million shillings. Their companies are 100 billion Uganda shillings now. They had to start somewhere, but they took that initial risk. Let us work with you to take that initial risk.
Bethany Hospital, along with other dignitaries, expressed their gratitude for the recognition and reiterated their commitment to maintaining high standards in patient care.
Yeah, I think voters saw what we do. We offer services which are rare in Uganda, because we have modern technology. We do what we call modern surgery, where we don't do operations like the usual cutting, but we do keyhole surgery. So I think people are realizing what we are doing, and it's a very, very, very big event for us today.
They also highlighted the hospital's role in supporting the local community through various health initiatives. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
The East Africa UK Tourism and Culture Expo 2024 is here, happening on 8th and 9th of November 2024 under the theme Enhancing Tourism as Engine for Social and Economic Transformation on the sidelines of WTM London at the Rembrandt Hotel, 11th Thalo, PI South Kensington, London, SW7 2RS, United Kingdom. For tickets, exhibitors will pay £1,000 and participants will pay £300. For more information, call +256 787 096-100 or +254-795-806-969. Visit www.eaukTourismExpo.com to register.
From the sports scene, the Uganda Olympic Committee has joined the rest of the world in celebrating World Fair Play Day. It was mainly attended by the youth and their teachers from 15 schools with a message themed towards decency in everything they do. John Bansentam reports.
The 5th annual Fair Play Day in Uganda has been hosted by Uganda Olympic Committee. This Fair Play initiative has been implemented in several schools where learners are taken through fair play sessions, both in sport and in life out of sport.
From this program, I have learned that there is a winner and there is a loser in every sport. So I've learned that we should uphold the values of fair play so that we can live with others peacefully.
The occasion was graced by Uganda Olympic Committee Secretary General Beatrice Aikoru, who emphasized the negative effects of unethical behavior like cheating in sports.
There's a balance. There's everything that you do has to be positive, because we've seen things like simple things we look at, like corruption. Corruption is not fair. It's unfairness, and it may not be necessarily involving money that we talk about. We look at corruption, we think it's always about money. It's not. It's the way you live, the way of life you have should be fair now, and it doesn't hurt the other person, your neighbor. So this is what we are trying to project out there.
She also highlighted the consequences faced by those engaged in the unethical practices such as doping and age falsification, which at times leads to corruption.
I would like to have sports free of doping, one clean sports. Not that every athlete in sports or every sports person dopes. We like to protect those who are playing clean, those are fair. That's the reason why the few who may be having this negative mindset of trying to use some substances that can enhance their performance, we are telling them to resist, because that's not playing fair.
The World Fair Play Day in Uganda was organized by the Culture and Olympic Committee Commission of the Uganda Olympic Committee. It was attended by learners from Gayaza High School, Laibi College, Gulu High School, Ntare School, Rubaga Girls, Kibuli SS, Kigulu College, and Ngora High School, among others.
Kids of Africa Run has climaxed at Bujiri Katabi Town Council with more than 500 runners who participated.
With the sole target of running for sanitation for the girl child, hundreds of Ugandans have taken part in the 13th edition of the Kids of Africa Run in Bujiri Katabi Town Council.
We started 20 years ago on the other side of this bay with a children's home, and it has now come to much more. Our children, they have all grown, they are all big, and we have started a school, since children, when they grow up, they need a school. So that's why we built this primary school here 10 years ago. So, and then later on we built SAVI, which is Swiss African Vocational.
It was a contest in several categories, including the 10 kilometers and the 21 kilometers, won by Kevin Cheptoyok. The 5-kilometer category was the most embraced and climaxed with Fadil Jaffa winning among the boys, while elite runner Lina Shedi, who dedicated her achievement to the late Rebecca Cheptegei, edged all women.
A sad story for us in the sports fraternity. I've come here to run in the memories of Cheptegei Rebecca, so it's a good thing for me, and I want it as a win.
The run on the theme of sanitation for the girl child was enabled by several partners, notably I&M Bank, that has committed further support.
I&M Bank Uganda is proud to have actively participated in the success of Kids of Africa Run 2024. We can't wait to see the outcomes, The event aligns with our values, and we are very honored to be part of a noble cause. We can't wait to see, we can't wait to give back to community, and then we are committed to supporting communities in which we operate, and this is just one of the few initiatives we are part of.
It attracted participation from several companies including World's Light, Carge Online, Rocco, KPS and Lactic Sports, which also contributed to its successful organization.
Part of this from the beginning, right from the start, I have been part of it, so it was important for me to be here. Of course, I also registered to compete. You know, as Lactic Sports, we took part in this. That's why when you look closely, you can be able to see our logo here. And we're part of the sponsors.
We came here, first of all, to participate as a team, and then to promote the girl child run, and then being the branding company for this activity. That's why we're here.
The other winners in the run categorized by age included Joseph Muyobyo, Musa Okelo, Fred Sebata, Boaz Masiko, Sami Apong and Sylvia Chelangat.
One of our key pillars as I&M Bank Uganda is enabling youth. If we can help keep a girl child in school, it's a win for us. As you all know, educate a child and educate a nation. These are the future leaders of our community. These are the people that are going to be our customers years to come, and we can't wait to help keep the girl child.
That brings us to the end of UBC News Tonight at 10 p.m. My name is Sharon Kyomugisha. Have a lovely evening, a good night actually, and a blessed week ahead of you. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
The Right Honourable Speaker of Parliament, Anita Annette Among, with profound grief and sorrow, announces the untimely death of Honourable